Mm-hmm.
My mom was talented with a shoe, Terry.
Yeah, well, my ex, he took exception to that, too. I mean, I told him when we were married, don't ever even think about raising a hand to me. And if you do, don't go to sleep. Well, he got drunk, and he did. He hit me. So I waited until after he passed out, and he had this big quilt over him that my mother made for us for a wedding present. And that was in the 70s when platform shoes were all the rage. And I picked up a platform shoe, the highest, heaviest one I had, and I wound up pretty good, and I hit him with it across the hip. And he just didn't move, you know. So I thought, well, I didn't hit him hard enough. So I wound up, and I really let him have it the second time, across the shoulder. And that time, he grunted and he moaned, and I thought, okay, he'll have a bruise tomorrow. I made my point. And the next morning, he got up, and the bed was full of blood, and he had a big gash across his hip and another one across his shoulder. And he said, what in the hell happened to me? I said, you hit me, and then you were stupid enough to go to sleep. And he looked at me, and he said, I guess I had it coming. And that was the end of it.
Well, smart man. He shouldn't have hit you to begin with.
That's right. Because my grandma was only 5 foot tall, and she weighed maybe all of 80 pounds, soaking wet. And my grandpa was 6'4", and he used to regularly get drunk and beat her up. And finally she had enough of it, and she told him, you raise your hand to me again, and then you go to sleep, and it'll be the last time you ever do it. Well, he didn't listen, like he never did, so he got drunk and he beat her up. After he passed out, she tied him to the bed. They had one of those beds with the rails. With the rails at top and bottom, the brass bed. And she tied his hands and his feet, and she beat him with a baseball bat. Damn near killed him. She left him comatose. Yeah, she left him comatose, packed up the kids, left town, and got a divorce.
If any of our ladies out there are listening that have problems like that, well, Terry's giving you some real good solutions here. Don't be bashful to use them.
Hell no.
Man, I think she's missing it. I think she's missing it. And I tell you why. My grandma used to have a problem with Grandpa doing that shit. Excuse the language, but that's what that is. And bet. He come home drunk and decided he was going to give her what for, just for general principles. And when he raised his hand up, that was his mistake. She's standing at the stove cooking, and she gave him dinner. Airmail special delivery along with the iron frying pan.
Oh, yeah.
For her. Good for her.
Well, what happened was that the milkman discovered him 2 days later. He's still out. Okay?
Ooh, she got him good.
She hit him with both hands. She had both hands on his counter, and she let him have it. She had moved to whereabouts unknown.
That's what my granny did.
That sort of, and he was, done. He's broke. She cleaned out everything, took all the good stuff, took all the money, cleaned his pockets out. I mean, just really, and left him lay there. So 2 days. I mean,
wow.
I don't know if she cracked his head,
but country in 2 days.
Yeah, she didn't go too terrible far, but she went far enough, and all that. But that's just, that's only one. I mean,
well, my grandma
as a little kid,
understand the use of
Grandpa
equalizers.
I sort of broke that because he'd like to get drunk and walk down the sidewalk and bump into people and start a fight. And I was out front with my dad, and Grandpa was being nasty to this guy. And I said, Grandpa, what's the matter with you? And he looked at me, and I said, you're not acting right. You're not acting like my grandpa. And I turned around and went and got in the car. And my dad looked at him, and Grandpa was standing there with tears in his eyes.
And
he never started another fight, long as he lived. So
that's good spanking, too.
Yep. Of its own.
Yeah, but ladies, you got to understand, we are the weaker sex in that we do not have the brawn that they have. So my grandma taught me, you're a female. That makes you entitled to equalizers.
It does.
Well, your ex is lucky, and I'll tell you why. They got a thing called super glue, and you can do untoward things to the human body with super glue.
Yes, you most certainly can.
When you got to be took out of your house by the emergency medics and surgically separated from yourself in certain places, it makes the front page of the local newspapers, among others.
Oh, that is just a delicious idea, ladies.
Yes, it is.
I'm telling you.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
All right,
yeah.
you guys. Oh, my God.
What? This is family night. Get over it.
Yeah, well, I remember that you told me that story before, Drake.
Yeah, well, that was one of several that I know of. I mean, there was, I didn't live in the greatest neighborhoods and with the greatest people. Some of the guys were stupid, did not know how to act. I mean, when you love somebody, you don't do nasty stuff to them. Sure, go ahead and get drunk if that's what you got to do. You come home and you apologize for getting drunk and wasting some money, and you go fall out. Ain't no big deal.
We had a friend back in the 70s who was a real ladies' man, he thought of himself. And they had 6 kids, and she was constantly catching him cheating. So he'd get drunk, and he'd go out, and he'd cheat on her, and she'd catch him. And finally she told him, you know what, don't do it again, and if you do, don't go to sleep. I mean, So she caught him, and when he passed out, she shaved his entire body. And what she couldn't get with the razor, she got with Nair. And when he woke up, he looked like a pink newborn rat. He did not have a hair anywhere on his body, including his eyebrows and eyelashes. Gone. She said, we'll see what an attractive ladies' man you are now.
Now, see, I would just grab my crap and go. I wouldn't even waste my energy.
I'd use some super glue before you left.
After the Nair, right?
Yeah, that way it sticks good.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Agreed.
I don't know. I wouldn't have bothered with the Nair. I would have done what my grandma did, only I'd have duct taped him to the bed, and then I'd have used duct tape to remove the hair.
No.
Whoa. Hey, okay, now that's a good one.
The last CEO that I heard of that the wife got even with, she baked in 2 pounds of chocolated X-Lax into his favorite chocolate cake, and he ate almost the whole thing. It was so yummy.
I did that with
Comet. He went to the office the next day.
Oh, he was going for days.
Out of the bathroom.
Take it from me, Comet works too.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Drake, somebody in the chat room's telling you to stop giving us ladies ideas. I don't think people realize us ladies are the ones that have the ideas. We just know how to keep them secret.
Us guys in the militia want our ladies fully armed.
Whatever kind of arms that means, right, Rick?
That's right.
You know what that chat room is saying.
You got to pack a 6-pack or a 6-shooter of super glue, ladies. Have at it.
You know what that chat room's really saying, don't you? It's saying I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he better quit being guilty.
Yeah, you know what, guys? If you don't do stupid things like that, your ladies won't need an equalizer.
That's right. I've had some people say that, well, they have to do their women like that because, well, they won't behave. Well,
what makes you think you have the right to make your woman behave? Who do you think you are?
I know. That's what I mean. That's what I always tell them is, well, it's time to go.
Well, if you're both as insane as the other one, it's sort of a lot of fun to be around and see what happens next, too.
Yeah, that's true, too. That's entertaining. That is entertaining. I love to hear stories where women have had to use the equalizer. I know that I couldn't even imagine trying to ever harm my wonderful wife I have. I mean, holy cow, that's just something that doesn't even come to mind.
Well, the thing with me is my wife has to be attentive.
It takes a very weak and insecure man to think that he needs to raise a fist to a woman.
Yeah.
Now, there's women out there doing that to men, too. It's terrible.
Yeah,
well,
and
now,
the guys shouldn't put up with it.
I've always had a policy of this when it comes to that. Look, ladies, you might get first one in, you might get the second one in. But know this, if you're going to stand to the plate like a man, get ready to get it like a man. So,
true enough.
It can reverse shoes there. Some people say, well, I'd never hit a woman. Well, wait till some 6'2" biker girl comes up to you one time and like a man, and let's see how well you fare.
You know what, you guys, you got to be careful what you teach your sons too, because when my son was little, he was about 4, maybe 5. He come in the house one day, just crying, tears rolling down his face. His clothes were all ripped up, and he was dirt from head to toe. And I said, "Oh my God, what happened?" And he, through his tears, told me that the 2 little girls next door had ganged up on him. One of them sat on him while the other one beat the hell out of him. And I said, well, did you hit him back? And he looked at me so sad, and he said, but Mama, you said I can't hit girls. I'm like, no, I didn't mean you have to let them beat you up. You know, it's a hard thing to teach them.
Well, I've got one for you guys. I taught my sons to never hit a lady. My sons were not violent like that at all. And I taught them to never hit a lady. And both of my sons were born with type A severe hemophilia, which is a serious blood clotting disorder. The bottom line is that one day Michael came home from school, and I could see he was trying to keep from crying, and he had a big bruise on the side of his face. And I said, son, how did that happen? And this female, I think she was just young and attracted to him. And, you know, young people do stupid stuff when they're trying to get someone's attention, you know. And she would smack his head upside the locker when she walked past.
Oh, no.
And I said, well, the next time you see her, you ask her to stop doing that. He did. She continued to do it. He came home one day and he said, Mother, what am I going to do? And I said, what did I tell you? What have I taught you? Never hit a lady. I said, okay, say that again. Keep repeating that until you get what it is I'm trying to tell you. And finally he looked at me and he said, she's not a lady, is she? I said, no, son, she's not. And he took care of her butt the next day. And she never touched him again.
And super glue's a two-way
street. Pushed her right into the locker. And he said, you put your hands on me again, I'm going to beat the crap out of you.
I like what Drake just said. Super glue is a two-way street.
Imagine certain things being glued into positions that you don't want them in, like one up, one down.
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
That too, yes. Yeah, and I'm not going to say nothing more than that.
I don't think you have to.
I will make no comment, Brother Drake.
I noticed everything quieted up when I said that.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, they got together, the military did, and found that there were 4, 2 of which definitely legal, 2 questionable, in the House of Representatives. And there were a total of 11 senators at the time that they took the votes on certain things and disapproved or approved certain legislation.
Wait a minute.
So that'll give you an idea of this has been years ago. But the military has acted against the legislators, representatives, at gunpoint on several different occasions.
Which legislation are you talking about?
Oh, no, I'm not going there. Get people in trouble that are still active duty. Then there's other things that I found out about what's been going on in terms of trying to take care of problems.